Welcome back to Daily Discovery Diaries.
Today, we're going to explore January 14th. So let's get started.
Number 1.
On January 14, 1814, the Treaty of Kiel was signed, officially transferring Norway from Denmark to Sweden as part of a political agreement during the Napoleonic Wars. Denmark, aligning with Napoleon, suffered territorial losses and ceded Norway in exchange for Swedish Pomerania. However, Norway resisted Swedish rule and declared independence, leading to the brief Swedish-Norwegian War. Despite initial resistance, Norway entered into a union with Sweden, lasting until 1905.
Number 2.
On January 14, 1939, Norway declared sovereignty over Queen Maud Land, a vast section of Antarctica stretching along the continent's eastern coast. The claim was based on Norwegian exploration efforts and was made to secure potential resources and scientific opportunities. The land was named after Queen Maud of Norway, wife of King Haakon VII. While the claim remains recognized under Norwegian law, international treaties, such as the Antarctic Treaty of 1959, prevent new territorial claims and regulate activity in the region.
Number 3.
On January 14, 1907, a devastating earthquake with an estimated magnitude of 6.5 struck Kingston, Jamaica. The tremor caused widespread destruction, collapsing buildings and triggering fires that ravaged the city. More than 1,000 people lost their lives, and thousands were injured or displaced. The disaster highlighted the vulnerability of the island to seismic activity and led to improvements in earthquake-resistant construction. It remains one of the deadliest natural disasters in Jamaica's history.
Number 4.
On January 14, 1943, during World War II, Japan began Operation K, a strategic withdrawal of its remaining troops from Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands. The operation aimed to evacuate over 10,000 soldiers without alerting Allied forces. After months of intense fighting, Japan realized it could no longer hold the island against the relentless U.S. offensive. The evacuation was completed by February, marking a decisive victory for the Allies and shifting the momentum of the Pacific War in their favor.
Number 5.
On January 14, 1943, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Winston Churchill convened in Casablanca, Morocco, for a high-level wartime conference. The leaders discussed plans for the next phase of World War II, including the invasion of Italy, increased support for the Soviet Union, and the policy of demanding unconditional surrender from Axis powers. The conference also saw the symbolic presence of French leaders Charles de Gaulle and Henri Giraud, as the Allies sought unity among the Free French forces.
Number 6.
On January 14, 1951, National Airlines Flight 83, a Lockheed Constellation, crashed while attempting to land at Philadelphia International Airport. The crash occurred due to a combination of mechanical failure and poor visibility caused by fog. 7 people, including 5 passengers and 2 crew members, lost their lives. The accident prompted investigations into aviation safety protocols and led to improvements in aircraft design and airport operations to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Number 7.
On January 14, 1953, Josip Broz Tito was elected the first president of Yugoslavia, a position that cemented his role as the leader of the newly formed Socialist Federation. Tito's rise to power followed the end of World War II and the establishment of a communist government in Yugoslavia. His leadership style emphasized non-alignment during the Cold War, balancing relations with both the Eastern and Western blocs. Tito's tenure as president lasted until his death in 1980, marking a significant period in the history of Yugoslavia.
Number 8.
On January 14, 2010, the government of Yemen declared open war on the terrorist group Al-Qaeda, following a series of deadly attacks attributed to the group. The declaration marked an escalation in Yemen's battle against extremism and terrorism within its borders. This action came as Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP, was increasingly targeting both Yemeni civilians and government officials. Yemen's fight against AQAP would see cooperation with international partners, particularly the United States, in counter-terrorism efforts.
Number 9.
On January 14, 2011, Tunisian President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali, who had ruled the country for 23 years, fled to Saudi Arabia following a series of demonstrations against his regime. The protests, initially sparked by the self-immolation of Mohamed Bouazizi in December 2010, rapidly grew into widespread unrest due to political corruption, high unemployment, and rising costs of living. Ben Ali's departure marked the beginning of the Arab Spring, a wave of protests and revolutions across the Arab world that led to significant political changes in several countries.
Number 10.
On January 14, 2019, a Sahar Airlines Boeing 707 cargo plane crashed at Fath Air Base near Karaj in Alborz province, Iran. The aircraft, which was en route from Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, was attempting to land when it crashed, killing all 15 people on board, including the crew. The crash occurred due to poor weather conditions, which caused the pilot to lose control of the aircraft. The incident raised concerns over air safety regulations in Iran and prompted further scrutiny of cargo aviation operations in the region.
Thanks for joining us to explore historical milestones. If you enjoyed today's discoveries, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.